live Wednesday night, a little late Wednesday night, and we got 0 people watching us. Give a couple minutes here. There's one person. Yeah, there's one person showing up. I had like 2 or 3 people texting me wanting to know when we're going on live, so somebody will show up. I'm gonna give about 2 or 3 minutes here to let everybody join in, make sure they got notifications, do a little housekeeping, and it's kind of an open discussion tonight. Anybody wants to bring anything up, ask either one of us anything. It's been a crazy couple weeks, to say the least. Freight market sucks. Crazy couple. There you are. You turned me up. It's been a crazy couple weeks. Freight market sucks. Everything sucks right now. We're just trying to get by with what we have and keep moving. That's all we can do right now. Now we got 5 people. Let me give it about another 3 or 4 minutes here, and then we'll get rolling here. Man, it's been interesting, man. Do. All right, I guess 5 people. My wife is on here. Hello, darling. All right, guys. Little simple housekeeping here. First thing, if you would, please like and subscribe, and do all the above to this channel. Also, Life on 18 Wheels. Post your channel on there. Go and like his channel and subscribe. It's very important that we get out there as much as we can. I'm literally about 30. I think last time I checked, 34 people to 1,000. So I'm almost to 1,000. That would be nice to get to that point. But the housekeeping things that I wanted to go over is just like Poppy said last week, we kind of shut our recruiting down for a little bit. The reason is it's not just here at JB Hunt. It's everywhere. Everything is kind of in the dumps right now. Until we can get a good handle on what's going on with the holiday weekend this past weekend, a lot of our loads got canceled. I had a load from Charlotte, North Carolina to Miami, Florida that got canceled, and that was my trip home. Everybody knows that, I live about halfway down the coast of Florida. 18 Wheels lives in Orlando, but my load canceled, and then my load that I had going out of the house on Tuesday also canceled. So I got a double whammy this week. Not too happy about that, but that's the way trucking goes. And the people that we bring over, the guys that we have so far, we've been pretty lucky. We've kept them moving. I don't think anybody's really complaining about anything. The money is down a little bit. I had 2 crappy weeks in a row. This past week wasn't bad. Hey, Jerry, I hope you got my text earlier. This past week wasn't too bad. I grossed 5,700, somewhere in that area. The 2 weeks before that, they were barely 4,000. So I didn't take a whole lot of money home at all for the past 2 weeks. So this week was definitely a lot better. The week that I'm on now, for the following week, as long as I can get the loads delivered, I'll be right at the $5,000 mark. So not too bad for a holiday weekend, getting 2 cancellations. One to the house and one out of the house, and still, if I can make that, $5,000. And honestly, I think that's under, it's just a tad bit under 2,500 miles too, which is probably the least amount of miles that I've driven in a long time at JB Hunt, and still gross over 5,000. The loads were high dollar loads. I don't want to give out the customer, but they're not our usual customer that we have. It's a home improvement store. I'll give you some examples of what it is. You got 2 big ones, so take your pick. Very good loads, high paying loads. They were in the $3 a mile mark, which with my deadhead and, coming out of the house and everything, they were worth the load. And the last load that I have is a major supplier to the trucking industry, and it's going from I forget what town in North Carolina. It's up by Gettysburg in the north part of North Carolina on the coast, going all the way to San Antonio, Texas. That'll be my Friday into Saturday load. It's about 1,400 miles. I'm going to try and get that done in 2 days if I can. Anyways, we've suspended the recruiting just for a little bit so we can kind of get a handle on, see what's going on. I think the holiday weekend kind of, messed things up a little bit, but we'll get back into full motion. I know a couple guys called the recruiters and pretty much turned their applications down because of the, the way the loads are right now and the freight market, which, honestly was probably a good thing for them because I don't want them to get over here with, a $1,100 a week truck payment and not be able to pay it. That was my major concern. If I'm going to recruit, I'm going to recruit, but I'm going to bring people over, but they're also going to succeed. I'm not here to give you a line of BS that everything is great over here. I just told you I had 2 shitty weeks in a row. But, right now we're all just in, a survival mode and just keep doing what we're doing and making sure the bills are paid. Fortunate for me, my bills were paid. The truck payment was paid. Everything was paid. I'm not behind on anything, but I just didn't take a whole lot of money home to the house. I understand. I haven't looked at my settlement this week, but I understand a couple of the drivers didn't get truck payments taken out of their settlement this week for some reason. I don't know if it's because they didn't make enough money or if it was the holiday week or what the story is. Did that happen to you by chance? 18 wheels?
Oh, no.
Okay.
My payment still came out.
Okay. I think it might have been the holiday weekend that, because quite a few of the drivers did. Like I said, I haven't checked mine yet, but I will here in a little bit. Anyway, that's pretty much my housekeeping that I wanted to talk about. Don't really have a whole lot to talk about tonight, guys. I was running a little behind. I wanted to make sure this load got delivered. I got a 11 o'clock appointment in the morning, but I'll be there bright and early, somewhere around 8, hopefully to pick it up early. And that load goes to, like I said, Garysburg, North Carolina. It's the same shipper and receiver that I dropped off up here in Indiana, and now I'm going back to North Carolina. So that's pretty much my week. Once again, 2 weeks before that, it's been very bad. My whole month has really been kind of off. I've had a lot of cancellations. Out of all the loads that I've had, I probably have had at least 5 cancellations this past month. I'm hoping now that we're in September will be much better. I've got positive vibes for everything for September. One way or the other, we're all going to make it. I know you can talk about your week if you want to, 18. I know you've kind of struggled the last couple of weeks yourself with a couple issues. You had issues with the trailer quite a few times, flat tires and just trailer maintenance issues. But go ahead, man. Floor's all yours.
Well, last week and week before was pretty much a doozy. It still fared out how it's supposed to fare out. Hopefully, I was hoping that this week was gonna be much better because I had booked myself up until Wednesday, and come to find out when my loads got its delivery dates pushed back by a day. So I ended up having to cancel that, and I have to call the agent tomorrow about that second load and cancel it. And hopefully I can find something tomorrow to recover what I was planning or expecting to gross next week. But other than that, finally out of Florida. Took me a minute to get out of there. I was running around that whole state for a hot minute trying to get a good load out, and I just decided I was just gonna just deadhead out of there. So that's currently what I'm on right now. Pick up my load tomorrow morning at 10, and then I just keep it pushing from there.
Yeah, that's all you can do. And I'm looking at my paycheck stuff too. My truck payment didn't come out either. I made plenty of money to cover it, but it didn't come out. So
I think it's probably because you're still stuck on the Friday payments. Yeah.
Yeah, our payments are on Fridays. What's your payments?
I had mine switched to Wednesdays.
Huh? Does Landstar pay your payment though?
Mm-mm.
Oh, so you make your own payment?
Yeah, that comes straight out of my account.
Is that the way you set it up, or will Landstar pay your payment?
Landstar they're not involved in any of that stuff.
Really? That surprises me too. And your transfer fee was, and this is all just discussions for people to learn stuff, but your transfer fee was only $500 too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was under the impression the only way you could get a $500 transfer fee is if the company took your payments out. But
I think
so,
it's because SFI has a proven history with Landstar
right,
with other drivers. Is that's why it was that low. But other than that, Landstar has no hands in the majority of your operation or your business when it comes to you making payments and stuff like that.
right.
They don't want no business doing that. That's on you and whoever you decided to lay in bed with.
Yep, that's true. Anybody got any questions to post up, or you got anything else you want to talk about?
Let's see. Do you know why truck drivers will never band together to protest or anything like that?
Um, there's lots of answers to that, but I think the best answer to give you, and it's nothing against about anybody's generation or anything, but your generation, my generation, we're all different. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you're and, I've told you this before, but you're kind of an exception. I don't really, your generation is kind of, off the wall a little bit with some things, but you're and I've told you this before, you're an old soul. What that means is you're a lot more mature than what you did your age. How old are you? 27, 28,
31.
31. Okay, see, I didn't even know
Mm.
that. I didn't realize you were that old. But you present yourself like you're my age, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. Well, it's a funny thing that you'll say that because the family and everybody else around me calls me such a big kid because I'm a goofball with them.
I've never seen that with you, though. You don't act that way that I've ever seen.
Well,
I mean, we
I mean,
we joke around and play around on
yeah,
the
right,
phone
right,
and
right.
shit, but honestly, I've told you this before. I think when we just do random shows like this, just with me and you, and we even talked about this before we even went on the air. I think me and you kind of we gel together with the show, and I've even had people tell me that before too, and I don't know. My wife
That's
likes
because
our
we're
age
cool people,
differences.
man.
Yeah.
We gel together, bro.
Well, our age differences, man. We have a lot in common, but at the same time, we're so different, man. Um,
Hmm.
what island did you come from? You've told me before, and I've told people, and I just can't
Well,
remember.
my family is from Antigua.
Antigua, that's right. Antigua.
Hmm.
Okay, that's
Antigua,
what I.
yeah.
Okay, I knew you were from
Hmm.
one of the islands. Somebody asked me the other day, and I think it was Poppy that asked me, and I said
Yeah.
I really don't remember.
Yeah, but I
Uh,
was born here on the good old soil of USA, but my whole family,
so you can run for
majority of my
president.
family from. Absolutely.
You got
I'd
4
make a
years to go,
terrible
but you can
president.
run for president. I think you have to
I'd
be
be a terrible
35.
president, man.
You'd be spending more money than Biden does.
I'll be more yeah, I'll be more focused on what's going on within the border than what's going on outside the border. So that'll make me a very terrible president,
Right. Good
Yeah, most
evening, OTR Vick. So OTR Vick says he's 31 also. Now, I'm almost positive OTR Vick has been on the Contractors Corners comments before. I think he
we've
was a
all
Swift
been
guy. Yeah, I think he was a
well,
Swift guy
we've
too.
all been under that. Yeah, I'm there usually every Tuesdays anyway, except for yesterday I wasn't on
Right.
there. Completely forgot all about it. That's like the
Buddy,
second time I ever missed one of their shows, but
I
I'm usually there.
I kind of watch it and listen to it. Um, but I find myself listening to them sometimes, and I
Hmm.
put it in as background noise just to kind of see if I miss something. But I mean, they talk. I mean, again, it's Swift. I mean, they're really nothing really changes at Swift. They talk about the same things all the time, and I get it. That's just the Swift way. They don't really. There's nothing that they really do any different. I mean, every day's kind of the same.
Yeah, but
So
there's always some hidden gems in whatever they're
yeah,
talking
that's
about.
kind of why I put it in for background noise because I wait to hear
Mm.
something come up. I tell you what. First of all, let me say we got a new guy on here, V Lop. He says hi, and I've never seen you on here before, and I'm glad you made it in to check us out. I hope you like what we put out and subscribe to us. Um, I'm really curious though with Jeff. I really want to know how Jeff's doing with the Panther. Because that was one of the companies that really intrigued me when I looked into them. Was
Mm-hmm.
Panther. I just I don't understand their concept. Expedited.
Well, I
Uh,
thought they were mostly a team. I think they are mostly a
a
team
lot of it
operated
is.
thing because it's expedite. Expedite is stuff that needs to get there
Yep.
ASAP as soon as possible. So they'll pay what they gotta pay to get that load where they need to get it. So I think that's mostly how they really operate over there. And I think he's like a one of the few people that do solo runs over there.
Hmm.
And I guess it's a different thing. Cause remember he had that 2016 Freightliner that he had paid off at Swift, and I guess he parked that to he had parked it and got another truck because his I believe his whole goal was at the time was they were gonna start some type of training class over at Swift or whatnot, and he was training again.
Hmm.
And then I think he got the deal with the guys over at Panther and decided to go and try that out. So I still got a little bet going on the side of my head that Charlie's gonna leave as well too in the next couple of months, but
I
we'll
think
see how that works.
he's actually. I don't know if you caught the video a couple times ago, but he actually said that he's thinking about getting another new truck because the one that he has on it, the one he has now is a 23, and he's got close to 350,000 miles on it, from what I understood.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
because he remember
because he
he
teams,
team
right?
drives with his wife, so
He's a super solo with her though. They don't drive team miles. They only drive like 3,500, 4,000 miles a week, even with the two of them.
right.
But he's already said he has mile. So OTR Vick says he pops in there from time to time, but it's usually the same old spiel. So he kind of agrees with us with their show. Um, when you're working at Swift, their show is very, very informative. They do a good job. But when you're not at Swift anymore, it just it's kind of hard to. It's not that it's hard to follow. There's no interest in it because they don't really do what we do anymore.
Right, but
Um,
you also have to remember that since Jeff left and he's over at Panther now, the both of them had decided to open up a different website where
yep.
it's not just Swift owner operators, but just owner operators in general that they want to share information with.
Right.
That they have that going on as well too. So
So
it
VLOT.
may be a little transition out, but just like OTR says, it's usually just the same old stuff usually happening over and over again over there. But
Yep.
again, for me, since basically day one since I've been at SIF, I've always watched all of their videos, even still today. There's always something to learn, and they
So
always got something on there that you can learn from. So
VLOP just made a comment and says he's a Swift owner operator. Uh, VLOP, I tell you the truth, man. I'm not the best person in the world, but you should really write my phone number down on the screen there. Give me a call. I could give you some tips, some hints, and all kinds of little cheat codes with Swift to where you can make the most amount of money you possibly can at that company because there isn't anything that I haven't done through the Swift way
hmm
that I haven't figured out. And same thing with 18 wheels. There's so many things that you can do to save money there, and so many things and so many contacts that I have that I'd be more than happy to give you, what you need to succeed over there. We both had the cheat code over there. Honestly, I'd go back to Swift in a freaking heartbeat, but I just don't want to do the pay per mile type thing anymore, and I don't want to be dispatched. That's my only gripe with them is being
yeah, and
dispatched, not being able to
I don't
stack
want to
loads.
I don't want to sit in line waiting to be the next
Yeah,
guy in
yeah.
line.
But if you
I want
give
to
me
be
a
the next
call,
available guy, not the next guy in line, and that's kind of their whole thing over there. So
so V, if you give me a call, man, I'll give you all the tips and the hints and all the contacts that I have at Swift that will make you as successful as you really want to be. Honestly, um, I mean, I never had a negative week there. Honestly, I can't even remember. I can't even remember where I got a check that was less than $1,200 or $1,300 over there. If I did it,
well, that's
it was
because you
only
were training. And you
Oh,
were
I'm
riding
talking
that
about
super
even. I'm
solo.
talking, buddy. I'm talking about when I was solo driver. I always made money there, even when I went home. Always.
Mm.
So he says he's been watching my videos on YouTube. Yeah, I try to put out as much as I can. I didn't do any. I'm trying to remember. Did I do any videos when I was at Swift? I think I did a few, didn't I? Not many, but
Not a lot, no.
but like I said, man, I've got plenty of great contacts there that will keep you rolling. I got ways on fuel savings for you there if you haven't already figured that out. And I know the places to go to and where not to go to in that place. So feel free to give me a call anytime. I'll be driving all day tomorrow if you want to ring. And, I can pass your information over to 18. You can ask him the same questions. We were very successful at Swift. We didn't leave Swift on bad terms. Matter of fact, I was there 3 different times. Left, came back, left, came back, left, came back, and each time I made money immediately, just like you did too. I know you did.
It was something in the water for you, James.
Huh?
They put something in your water. That's why you
I
kept
got you.
coming back.
I guess so, man. I guess so. Well, I mean, it's an easy when you go to a crappy company and you get behind, you know that you can go back to Swift and make money immediately. I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
like right now. If all hell broke loose here, as long as Swift had the loads, we both know that we could go back to Swift and make
You
money
can take the
immediately.
truck with you back to Swift too.
You can, but I just don't. I mean, you're going to be paying twice the amount for this truck compared to what you would get one of their trucks for, though. You know what I mean? It would be a hard nut to pay, man.
Man, that
You know?
is true. But then
What was your truck payment over there?
$451 a week.
Yeah. So your truck payment's 3 times the amount almost here. Mine is, my payment was 700 over there, and it's 1100 here. So,
Yeah, but that's
you know,
because I also had that. I had an MRP truck, and
I
it
know
was
you
a
did.
2018, so it was a pretty old. I mean, by standards, it was pretty old. So that's
Right.
why it was so low. But yeah,
Speaking of which, how's your Freightliner holding up?
like a beauty.
Really? I
She
know you're
does
very
she does
happy
her
with it.
job, and she does it very well. I do have I do have to replace my windshield again.
Oh,
And
I got mine set up, by the way, and I already gave you kudos on that too. They
uh
actually, I called them today because I called them on Thursday and they've never called me, and I finally got a hold of them again today. And I'm like, you were supposed to call me back on Tuesday. Well, guess what? They called me like the minute I was firing up this TV show. I'm like, who calls at 9 o'clock at night to set something up like that?
right.
So I have to call them in the morning and get that worked out. I'm going to have it done on my home time. I'm going back home on the 16th. I've got some engagements I'm going to do with the wife and the daughter. We're going to end up going over to SeaWorld, I believe. And when I do, I'm going to drop my truck off and let them fix my, they're going to replace the windshield because I got 2 spots. I'm just going to have the windshield replaced and go from there. When I'm doing that, I think I'm also going to have my shocks replaced there at the dealership. Either that or I'm going to have them done this weekend. I'm going to get the shocks done, and I'm also going to put Centromatics on the truck too. And possibly, speaking of which, I want to ask you about alignment. I want to get all the wheels aligned. Who does the alignments that are good? Do you know?
There's a guy in Jacksonville.
Okay.
I know he does MD alignment, and I know he does
Oh,
a
he
lot
does
of
do the MSD alignment.
he does
Okay.
the MD alignment, and he does because I know it's like a big thing over here at Landstar with the MD alignment as well too, and he's the go-to guy. And I know Charlie was talking to me about him as well too, so they kind of that's where I got the MD stuff from, but over on the Landstar side, they know him pretty well. So, and
What's
he's mobile, so it's not like
what's the charge on that? Do you know?
I don't have a clue, not
Well,
yet.
do me a favor. Tomorrow, if you
I don't
do
have
that,
one yet, but I should
I got
be.
you.
I think I still have his phone number in my phone because I did get his digits a while ago.
Send it to me. I'm gonna call him.
Mhm.
I want to see about having that done here soon. Got some comments from a new guy here, Cadillac Smith. I've never seen you before, but he says I applied to JB Hunt as owner operator, but they talked at the age of my tractor. It seems like they were trying to get me to take on a lease purchase type thing. But I swear I've seen older units than mine wearing the JB Hunt flag. So Cadillac, I'll be honest with you. you're on a different side of JB Hunt than what we are. You would be on the side. It sounds like you would be on the side as the owner operators, where you have your own authority. If I'm correct, are you trying to get on to our side to where you run under JB Hunt's authority?
Now, what kind of truck do you have as well too?
Yeah. What year and what kind of truck do you have? I might be able, if you're coming to our side, I might be able to hook you up with our recruiter. Maybe she can help you out, give you some explanation.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of which, what you were talking about earlier, talking about going on vacation. Fun fact: I used to work at SeaWorld.
Is that right? What'd you do? Was you a snow cone machine operator?
No, no. I used to work. I used to do special events.
Okay.
So I never really. I was in food service doing special events. I didn't have. I didn't really have any place in the park to go to. I used to just hop around restaurants, help them out until we had our own special events. And I eventually became an assistant lead, and then I left from there to get into trucking.
Okay. So Techno, my buddy James from Wichita, he says, if you go back to Swift, are you able to bring your SFI truck? Yes, you are. The only thing that's going to be different, your payment you'll have to pay on your own. You'll have to come out of your personal bank account, because Swift will not make that payment for you. You'll have to pay that yourself, kind of like what 18 Wheels does at Landstar, makes his own payment. So that would be the only thing there. You but obviously I'm sure Swift would want to do an inspection on your truck, kind of go over it. Even though it's a brand new truck, they would still want to look at it and make sure that it's up to spec. Usually that's more for the older trucks, but they would
And
still
on
look at
top
it.
of
They would
that,
have no reason to prove it.
in my opinion, they don't have enough miles for you to pay an SFI truck.
That's right.
They're not going
That's
to
right.
give you enough miles to pay for an SFI truck. Even with that load board that they say they got, it'll be tough. Can you do
The only
3,000 miles a week? You
yeah.
can, but it's like it's all about just knowing who you know as well too. So
Well, absolutely. That's why I was trying to tell V about that. It's just the contacts that we have. But to answer your question about that, though, too, if you did take your SFI truck over there, you could train officially and do that, and make enough miles to make your
I
payment.
don't want
But
no training
yeah, I
destroying
know
my
that. But I'm
truck.
just giving options here. But the other thing is too, I think your payment would go up on your truck too once they found out you were training. That would be the only other thing on that too. I don't
Probably,
know. That's a good
probably.
question. I don't know how that would work.
I think
So
the best thing to do is like if you ever take your truck back to Swift, you might as well team up with your SO with your
right.
significant other and do one of those accounts that'll keep you busy and keep you moving.
So Cadillac got on here and he says, "I want to run under their authority, which is JB Hunt's authority. Why don't you write my number down there, Cadillac? Give me a call tomorrow, and I'll hook you up with my recruiter, and
Says he
we'll
has
see
a
where we're at."
99 international, so
Yeah.
that might be that hiccup that he's talking about there.
Well, that's not always true. He's right. I've seen older trucks than
I
that
wonder
run
if he
over
has
here.
a cat or a 60 series in that thing.
That might be something too. If is your has your truck been deleted? If your truck's been deleted, they might not be able to
Well,
bring
if
you
it's
over.
a 99, it's never been added, so
That's true too.
it wouldn't have those emission
Huh.
systems on
Well,
it.
let me ask you this: is your 99 International? Can they plug up the computer to it for the ELD? That would be the biggest thing I would think would be the disqualifier. You know what I mean? Because they have to be able to plug the ELD up to it. I don't know
500,
what year
800
that.
week.
Yeah, I don't know what year that would take place, but that would be the big thing. OTR Vick says you can make it with an SFI truck at Swift if you want to take home
Probably has a
500,
comment
800 a
on it.
week. Yeah, I got news for you, man. $500, $800 a week is pretty much what I've been making the last couple paychecks, except for this one.
Hey, Cadillac, I want to know how your experience was with when you ran with Landstar.
That's interesting.
I'd be interested to know that. Mm-hmm.
Things have been a little down for you at Landstar too, haven't they?
Well, it's just business. I just look at it as well. It's just the market.
You always say that it's the market, but
Well, when you spend as much time as me going through news articles or videos or just keeping up with what's going on in the industry, because this is where I make my money. I like to spend a little time getting to know, what's going on in the industry. It makes me less prone to react in the way that some other drivers would, because all they're worrying about is money, 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 or miles, miles, miles. When I'm just looking at the bigger picture of what's really happening, what's really going on with the freight, with the market, with the economy, and all that at scale. So,
Me and you look at that a little bit differently. And the reason I say that,
ooh, sitting duck rule. Yeah, I can
yeah,
feel
I
you on
saw that.
that one, man. They're really stringent on that right there. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
So you brought that up about the market, and you look reading and listening and all that. But you know what? You think about it though. I'm just watching these cars go by. But you think about it. Me and you started right after I did, I believe. What year did you come to Swift?
Uh,
22.
22, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I came in at February of 22 with Swift, and I came over from Dart. So I've been doing this. Let's see, August will be 4 years. I've been doing this. Is that right? 3 years. 3 years I've been doing this since August. Not with
Mm-hmm.
Swift, but I started at Dart, and we came into this at the shittiest market, the shittiest time to come into this, and fortunately for us, we've survived. Number one, and number two,
Surviving, because it's
yeah,
not over yet.
surviving, and again, it's not any worse now than it was, a year ago. Because when I was at Swift a year ago in 23, I personally think it was a lot worse then than what it is now. And we're surviving through the hardest market right now, and we're still making, we're not killing it by any means, but we're making a decent living.
We're doing something. I mean, we're all hoping and
Persistence,
praying
man. We're
for
persistent with shit.
yeah, we're all just hoping and praying for a break at this point where things are going to start to turn around. Uh, Based off of the stuff that I've been looking at, this has been a little bit. Uh, it's been holding off a lot longer than it should have been, and partly because again, there's a lot of people that bought trucks during the COVID era when the market was high, and a lot of them are still trying to hold on as much as they possibly can, and in turn they're still hurting. They're still hurting because the majority of them are just investors and not real truckers or people who
Right.
are really invested into this type of industry. And it's as soon as they leave, or as soon as a couple more of them leave, and we start seeing less authorities being opened up versus those are closing down every month, we might start seeing a little a turnaround in the whole system. But as of right now, we just got it. There's still too many trucks versus the loads. I believe the loads already went back to normal, back to pre-COVID levels. We just got a lot more trucks than we do have loads out here. So unless some people decided to cut their losses or commit insurance fraud, we're
Right.
gonna be we're gonna still be sitting in this thing for a little bit longer. So
I'm not going anywhere. I mean, my truck. I mean, the only thing that I might do is obviously switch companies if things, don't change. But
yeah,
I really don't have any. I don't have any valid complaints right now, to be honest with you, other than the loads canceling. But that's not JB Hunt's fault by any means that I'm aware of. They are doing some crazy things, but honestly, it really hasn't affected me other than just what I said, the cancellations. So Raymond Husser just got on here and he says, and that's another new name. So I'm getting out there and I'm getting people on here that are finally seeing me, I guess. He says he goes to orientation with CRT on the 16th for lease purchase. Wish him luck. I do wish you luck, Raymond. I don't really know anything about CRST. What type of truck are you getting? I'm assuming probably a Freightliner because I think that's what most of their trucks are. And are you doing dry van? You doing flatbed? Oh, you were here last week. I'm sorry, Raymond. I just didn't see you make a post. But I'm curious to find out, what their deal is with their lease purchase there. I mean, if you have their information about their lease purchase, just post it here. I mean, this is the reason that I bring this channel up, is for everybody to learn about different companies, and somebody might be interested in maybe talking to you about it. That's the whole reason that I started this channel, is to kind of get all of us out here to talk about different companies, and maybe something's a better fit for this person, or this person might have a better fit over there. That's why I bring 18 Wheels on here as much as I can, because he doesn't work for the same company that I do, and we get things out there. So he's going flatbed, and yes, it's a Freightliner. I'm assuming it's probably a used one too, because I don't think they lease new ones, if I remember correctly. Now, I did have a Swift guy. He was a trainer at Swift with me. We started about the same time training. He ended up leaving and went to CRST. I think he trained with his father, if I'm not mistaken. I say trained, but teamed with his father, and they did flatbed. And I'm not trying to Debbie Down or anything, but I don't think they did too well. But again, this was, late 22, early 23, when the market was really, really horrible. And I think they fell on their feet with that. Techno just said UPS just sold their broker company, Cherokee. Yeah, I saw that, Techno. I did see that. It's Cherokee.
I thought they'd been sold out already.
Well, you know what? UPS is a weird company. That's another company that I've worked 3 times with, and I didn't have a good experience all 3 times. I don't know why I went back, but I did. It's a great company with benefits, but everybody, after about 3 or 4 years, you kind of top out on the dollar amount, and you're well into the 6 figures after 3 years with that company. But what's really nice about that company is your health insurance, and they're Teamsters too, but their health insurance is 100% paid for the whole family. That's the kicker that really got me going on that. And it's a very interesting company. They'll buy companies and they'll sell. Then they'll buy another company, then they'll sell. Did I lose you 18, or did you get a little disposed of there or something, buddy? Hello? Anyway, yeah, I saw that. It was Cherokee National.
I was just doing some stuff real quick, but I'll be right back in a second.
All right. I believe it was Cherokee National Tribe, or yeah, I did read that, Techno. I really did. I read that. So Raymond, I'm curious, what's the story on their lease purchase? What year truck did you get? How many miles are on it? What's your payments? What's the term on the lease? Give us a little information. That's a little food for thought here for all of us on here. It's what we like to put up here. I just asked Raymond about his lease purchase on the Freightliner.
Yeah,
Would you go offline?
I can still hear you.
Okay.
I can still hear you in the background and everything. It's just you just can't hear me because I'm just doing foolishness back here. But interesting enough about the flatbed thing. I tried to do a flatbed at Swift. Many times I've requested to try to do it, and they wouldn't let me. For some odd reason, they would tell me, since I had a full sleeper, I couldn't do it. And then I'll show them pictures of people with full sleepers pulling step decks and flatbeds all the time. And then it became, you live in Florida. And I was like, if you're making money like you guys, because before I even told them where I lived and everything, they was like, yeah, we're making good money. We're going back and forth to North Carolina, Texas, and back. And I'm like, okay, well, I could do that, and I could just fly home on the weekends. If you're making good money, I should be able to afford a ticket home every 2 or 3 weeks. No issues, no problems. And it just kept. And then the third one was, you have the short frame, so you might not be able to pull some of the loads that we have because of whatever reason or another. And I passed a Swift truck earlier today with the same standard frame, full cab, pulling the step deck, and I was like, what the.
Yeah,
I would have probably still been at Swift now if they would have let me do that. But yeah, all in all, it's whatevs. I'll end up doing flatbed someday, but not tomorrow. That's definitely.
you watch KO, don't you?
Yep. I
I
was just
can't.
watching one of his shows. I was
Yeah.
watching his latest video that he posted up today. So
I can't. I can't understand if he's actually doing good or if he's not doing good. He really doesn't talk a whole lot about it. And Stephen Love, you ever watch him?
no, I don't know who that one is, but I just
That's
feel like
KO's friend. Yeah, that's
KO's just
KO's
doing
friend.
what
He works at
KO
the
does
same
best.
company too. Um, so Stephen Love is always, he's talking like he doesn't make enough money and this and that. He's been to JB Hunt. He's been at Schneider, and he went to Boyd Brothers too before he went to Shelton, where he's at now with KO. But I thought about reaching out to him, saying, "Hey, buddy, if you want to make some money, man, I mean, come over here and do this with us." I mean, that's one of the things. This is when we were doing good, but I never did. Flatbed guys are kind of weird sometimes. They want to. They don't. They would rather not make money to stay in the flatbed than to make money and do dry van. Does that make sense? Doesn't to me, but
I mean,
it's something
I
that's in their
mean,
blood, I guess.
I guess. I mean, it's probably the same as those die-hard manual drivers.
Oh yeah,
Wouldn't drive anything but a stick. As soon as you stick them in one of these automatics, lo and behold, the comfort level and everything else, all that stick talk just goes right out the window.
yep, I agree. Anybody got anything here? We got 8 people on here. We've been going for 41 minutes.
Yeah, it felt like 10 minutes.
Cadillac, if you want to give me a ring tomorrow, man, I'll be more than happy to set you up with my
Oh,
recruiter and see if she can help you.
the question I asked you earlier, I said, do you know why truck drivers can't stick together?
Why? Are you
Because we never.
asking me?
Yeah, I was asking you.
I don't know that answer. I mean, again, it's just generational gaps, I think, more than anything.
I think it's more so because we don't even like each other to even stick together.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get on each other's nerves on the road, and we'll just do stuff to each other, and then you'll sit there and try to figure out how we all can band together when we got when there's something going on in the industry, and it's like, well, we can't stick together because we don't even like each other for one. So
All right. So, Raymond, I just gave you my email. It's flyrabbit@mail.com. My phone number's posted up here also if you want to give me a ring. I've got both email and phone. You can call me anytime tomorrow. I'll be driving after 7 a.m. in the morning. Whatever you want to do.
and on top of that, it's the fact that we have so many foreign drivers that are
Yep.
driving as well too. So it's like, even if you try to make a protest or you try to stage something, you're just gonna get they're just gonna end up just hauling the loads for you anyways while you're
Is it
sitting
just
out here
me, or
protesting.
does it look like my numbers may be a little off, but does it look like 50% of the drivers nowadays are of foreign descent? And you can tell, you know what I mean? It's not being prejudiced by any means, but you can
Well,
just
it's one.
tell that they're
Well,
not
it's more
from.
like 100%. We're all foreign to this land, so
You know what I mean, Mr. Antigua. I'm serious though. I'm talking about the guys, the white Volvo guys that we talk about all the
the
time
white
on here.
Volvo mafia,
Yeah, white Volvo Mafia. I mean, is
the
it just
white
me, or
Volvo, and the white Freightliner mafia.
does it feel that way to you too though?
I mean, I see them all the time. I have no qualms with them. Actually, was funny enough when I was backing in here earlier to park my truck. They were out here trying to help me out, so I really don't have no ill will towards them. Um, the only thing that I probably just don't like is just the how everybody talks about them undercutting and taking cheap freight. Because let's be honest, a majority of them, they don't live here and they don't plan on staying here or living here full term. And the amount of money that they make a week is probably the same amount of money they would make back home within like
Right.
6 months.
And they're sending a lot of that money home too.
And they're sending all of it home because they don't have nowhere else. A lot of them don't do nothing but sleep, eat, and I almost said it, but in their truck. That's all they do. So when they go home, they're not actually going to a house here in the country. They're actually getting a flight ticket back home. They're probably gone for months on end, and lo and behold, he gets rotated out with the next guy. Like I said, the amount of money that they make here in 1 month is probably the same amount they would make in 6 months back in their country, if even that. So
See, Jonah Green even agrees with me. He said probably 60% of them are that. That's funny. So Raymond just emailed me. Let me see what he sent me here.
It's all 100%. We're all foreigners to this land.
Oh, he sent me a copy of CRST's lease purchase. Huh. I'll have to read this and go over it.
It's mileage or percentage?
Contractors earn 70 to 75% of the revenue plus 100% of the fuel surcharge and accessorials. Excuse my French. I can't even say the word. Utilize a fleet manager, earn 70% line haul plus fuel surcharge. Mandatory for 90 days. Manage the load board on your own. So they got different options. You can manage the load board on your. So they have a load board too. 75% line haul and fuel surcharge.
Oh, he says to keep it private.
Independent contractors receive a discount of 0.18. Huh. They got several different options. They got health insurance too, pet allowance. Huh. Yeah, I've never. Oh, here we go. Average weekly fixed cost. Yes. Oh. I apologize. I thought you sent it to me for a reason. I apologize. I won't say any more. Sorry about that, Raymond. I apologize. Interesting.
He said, never mind. Cat's already out of the bag. It's whatever at this point.
All right. Anybody else have anything? I mean, we got 9 people in here. We had 17 at one time, which was really surprising as late as we were.
I think they all came. I think they all came to see Preacher Poppy, but he's not here tonight.
No, we told people last week that he was going to be on vacation. I think everybody knew that.
When is
Jerry, are you still on here too? I haven't.
When is he coming back?
Jerry? Poppy will be back. Well, he's coming back on the road Monday, so. Well, Raymond, you want me to finish it or keep it private? I mean, I'll do whichever you want me to. I was just skimming through it anyways. I won't read anymore. Jerry, are you still on here? It's probably past Jerry's bedtime. I know he was on here very early. 8:57 when he was on here. Oh, you want me to? Okay. He says he wants me to read it. Please read it. All right. Let's go back to it. So what I was looking at was average weekly fixed cost. So weekly fixed lease is $465 a week. Is deducted for the term of lease 2 to 3 years. Monthly truck and bobtail insurance is $74. Occupational accidents $49. Base plates and permits $75. $22.90 is $10.58. That's about average. Bobtail insurance is $10. That's about average. Huh. So your truck insurance is $70. Your truck insurance is actually kind of cheap, but I'm pretty sure that it's a used truck. Some states require optional Indiana base plates. So your fixed costs are about $1,005 a week. Your fuel is going to be different. So you get an 18-cent discount. 18 cents per gallon maintenance, preventative, and breakdown. 18 cents is kind of high. And I guess they make you do 18 cents? Wow. I guess so because it's such an older vehicle or whatever. So, example solo net income sample. So your revenues, 1,200 miles a week at $232 a mile, saying you're going to gross 3,558. Then it's got your fuel in there, minus 18. So it means you're going to bring home at 1,200 miles. You're bringing home $1,600. That's not too bad. And then there's two separate ones on here. So here's a 2,400 mile one. Wow, $7,000. That's not too bad.
It's not too shabby at all.
Uh,
Especially in this market. Yep.
Lease information. So late model Freightliner Cascadias tractors for lease, with the majority of it being 221 to 2023. No truck payment deducted for the first 3 weeks of the lease. Drivers who are unable to pay the 31 balloon at the end of their lease will need to secure private financing to pay the balloon payment, or have the option of turning the truck in and starting a new lease with a new truck. So, easiest thing for you to do with that is take your maintenance money and don't use any of it. Any maintenance you do, pay for it out of your own pocket. That way, you'll have the $31,000 at the end of the lease. And I believe these trucks are pretty similar to what you have. 18 wheels, 20 to 23 Freightliner Cascadia automatic, 400, 425 horsepower, Detroit DD15 Gen 5, 72-inch double bunk sleeper, and it's the same tire size that all the trucks have, the 22.5s with the 275s. Zero money down, no credit check.
Can't go wrong with a Freightliner, I'll tell you that much.
That's not a bad lease deal. Do they have drive van too, or is it only flatbed? So Gerald said he's driving tonight. Caving JT, hey, I'm in Phoenix. I close tomorrow at 9:30. I have some questions. Jeremiah Turner here. Jeremiah, if you want to, you can give me a ring after the show. My number's on the screen. I'd be more than happy to talk with you, and I will answer your questions for you if you want to call me. If not, you can call me in the morning after 7. I'll be driving, 7 Eastern time, that is. But feel free to call me tonight after we go off the show. I'll be more than happy to talk to you. Raymond says they have drive van also. Okay. Interesting. I wonder if it would be a company like Swift. You can bring your own truck with you.
Probably.
So Jeremiah says he'll call after the show. Seems too good to be true. Is that your lease?
Believe you're going to be working. Yep. You're going to be working your ass on that lease. Best believe that.
Raymond, the only thing that I can really tell you with that, every lease that I've ever done, the only one that I felt was over-delivered was Swift. When I went over the numbers with Michelle at Swift, I actually did better than what she told me that I was going to do. And I did better pretty much every week. The only week that I ever went into the hole was the very first week that I went out. And that was kind of my mistake, not knowing anything, because I signed the lease on a Tuesday, and their payroll cutoff is on a Wednesday. So the first week I went into the hole big time. And I'm surprised that she even did a lease like that. But it didn't matter, because the second week, I ended up making like $5,000 the second week because I ran my ass off. And, they took of course, we didn't have a truck payment for the first. Back then, I didn't have a truck payment for 6 weeks. So my negative went to a positive really quickly. And it went like that for the next 5 weeks after that. But every week that I was at Swift, I over-exceeded. And honestly, Raymond, with what you have on that lease, from everything that I see, it doesn't look bad. The only thing that might be a little bit make-believe-ish is some of their numbers, because that's in a good case scenario with the market and the way freight is right now. I'd take 25% or so off of that just to kind of have some real world numbers. Because that's kind of where we're at right now with freight. When you say it's about off about 25-30%,
Give or take.
yeah.
And I would say I'm just being petty here, but if they don't give you a full tank of gas starting out,
Hey, Swift didn't give us a full tank of fuel, and neither did SFI. We had my truck was when I went to Swift. My truck, I thought I was going to have to push it to the fuel pumps. My very first Volvo that I got, it
I
was
think I had
brand
a
new.
half tank of fuel when I
It
was
was
at Swift.
brand new, and dude, it literally. I mean, I didn't think I was going to make it to the pumps, and the pumps were literally just a couple hundred yards away.
The only place that I've ever had a full tank of fuel from was when I picked up a truck from Arrow, and
Uh-huh.
they actually topped the tanks off. So
Well, you bought the
I didn't
truck
have
from
to
them.
fuel. Yeah, I didn't have to fuel for like a whole like 4 or 5 days out of that whole time, which was like sweet because that was just less money that we had to pull from revenue to pay for fuel. Which I would think would be at least nice for them to at least put at least a half tank of fuel in the truck. I mean, if they're gonna start you off right. You're already in the negative by the time you sit your butt in that seat and you go pull that first load. You're already in the negative.
Well, in their eyes, though, they're giving you, several weeks of no truck payments still too. That's why. I agree with you, man.
Hey,
I mean,
country,
to
you
me, it's
getting
kind
up
of
on
petty.
here tonight or what, man?
There's my boy, Country.
We
About
gonna have
time
a
you made
fun
it.
fest tonight.
So Raymond says he's been in business for years. I'm thinking I can clear a couple grand a week with no problems or overhead, buddy. Right now, if you can take home $2,000 a week, consider yourself lucky. If you can do that consistently, that's I mean that's where you really want to be. That's my magic number. Is I want to be somewhere around the $5,000 gross and taking home 2,000. That's my goal every single week. If
Was
I
that
could do that,
after
I
your
would be
SFI
happy.
payment as well too?
Yep. What's that?
Okay, that's after your SFI payment.
Yeah, I mean after 2,000, bring home everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I know your payments are so much different than what we do because you make your own truck payment, you pay your own fuel. You can never give me a clean answer, what you do a week because you really don't know because
I really,
you have all these things.
I mean, yeah.
You
I
know
mean,
what I mean? You can never
I
give me a
could
good
tell you,
answer.
but yeah,
You'd have to kill
I
me.
it fluctuates, man. Like, I tell you, over here at Landstar, it's like I said, like I explained in the last couple of lives, you're literally in the condensed version of the open market here at Landstar because like they have their own load boards, they have their own customers, they have their own this, and you're literally dealing with agent. It's like they're setting you up to become like a 100% full on owner operator,
Right.
but without your authority. So eh, it's like however you do it is however you do it over here. You don't have no dispatchers, you don't have nobody looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, every time
When
you
you
talk
mess
about
up,
it over there,
it's just on you, you know.
yeah, every time you talk about it over there, when you say your agents, I think you're in the CIA or something or the FBI. It's like I gotta go call my agent. Well, what's your
Yeah,
agent? That's your
that's what
talent
they
agent? Are
call
you
them.
gonna start doing some skipping and stuff? Or are you gonna
I
do
guess
something?
it's just another fancy word
I guess so,
I
man.
guess for a broker or whatever. But most of them aren't brokers. They're just agents, I guess.
So Country said,
Send it to me. I'll take a look at it. I had one for I had actually built one when I was over at Schneider. I was using that one. But then when I came over here, I just didn't modify it or anything like that because I was just too lazy to go ask my friend to build me a new one. So if you got one, yeah, just send it my way. I'll start tracking it better that way.
you see it? Country said that his fuel light came on when he test drove it, and they had to put 20 gallons in it for him.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't have it. Yo, funny thing is, I didn't even have any fuel in my truck as well either, and I drove all the way from Green Bay to Chicago just like that because I didn't want to pay I didn't want to pay the prices up in up in Green Bay, and the cheapest fuel was way down in Chicago, and I had my ES Advantage card,
Right.
and there was nothing up there in Wisconsin that my ES Advantage was going to take advantage of. So I drove down to Chicago, put 50 gallons of fuel using the Schneider card, and that was like the one and only time I ever used that card, because I paid for all my fuel moving forward after that out of pocket. So
Raymond just said, keep telling me truth, fellas. Raymond, I'll tell you the thing. When I started this channel, God, it's almost 2 years since I started this channel. Can you believe that? When I started this channel, my whole goal was two things. Well, actually, I had three goals, three different types of shows that I wanted to do. I've accomplished only one of those goals. One of the channels that I wanted to do and the goal that I wanted to do is just help other truck drivers out where we can communicate with each other to find out what companies were good, what companies were bad, have guys on, different shows. It's kind of morphed into what it is, to where we just have a round table where people just kind of talk, because not everybody wants to go on the show. And I welcome anybody that wants to go on the show and talk about the company that they're going to, or just BS. I mean, anybody wants to come on the show and BS with me. That's okay too. That's why I have 18 wheels on here quite a bit. When Poppy's on vacation, even when Poppy's here, we still bring him on. But what I'm getting at more than anything, Raymond, is you gotta keep in touch with me. Write my number down. Touch base with me. Let me know how CRST is. Maybe CRST might be the next best place that we need to be at. And that's kind of the reason why we started this channel the way we did, is for all of us to educate ourselves. And, maybe we're doing something, maybe we're not doing this right over here, but you're doing it right over there, and vice versa. The other two things that I wanted to do with this channel is I really wanted to put like a Jeopardy type game show together, but I've never really, unfortunately, it just takes so much time to even put a live show on or even do regular pre-recorded videos. Ask 18 Wheels. I mean, he does one about every 2 or 3 years. It's just it's very difficult to drive the truck, do everything that you got to do day to day. And we're always, even 18 Wheels tonight, he was stuffing his face, full of food before we started the show. I was kind of snacking on shit too, because we drove all day, and then we start and do a show. I was late getting on the show. So the Jeopardy thing, I would love to do it someday, but unless I got another person to help me out that doesn't drive a truck or is at home, I just don't see where that's ever really going to happen. I'd love to do it. And the third type of show that I wanted to do, and I wanted to do, one of these shows each week, is kind of like a news show. My friend, not really a friend, but I guess more of an acquaintance. He's kind of helped me push my show a little bit. Cash is King. He has a news show once. He tries to do them once a week. Sometimes it's every 2 weeks, but him again, he drives full time, and it's just difficult to put content out there. But when he does, his news program is really good. And quite frankly, I never really pursued that anymore, because that's kind of his thing. And I'm not a guy that step on other people's toes with their ideas and stuff. So I kind of just stuck with this, and I don't really know anybody that kind of does what we do and talks about other companies and promotes other companies. And
I can tell you who used to do it.
Who's that?
So when you said the round table, it kind of clicked in my head.
Talk about Truckers Coach.
We talk about Coach.
Everybody gives that guy shit. Other than him repeating himself all the time, because he would constantly repeat himself. Other than that, I found myself very intrigued with Coach's show.
If you were here doing his super ego / Swift days,
yeah.
You would see why people gave that man so much flack, bro.
Buddy, you know what? I listened to him all the way back from the times that he was with Art, or even before.
Yeah. He's been around for a while. I know
he's just like this guy Trucks. He'll go to different companies to produce different stuff and put things out there. He only went to Swift to get likes on his YouTube channel. That guy makes big buku bucks on his YouTube channel. He did.
Not anymore, because he's
trying to build it back up, though.
He reset all his stuff, got rid of all the subscribers that he had. I think he had like 30 or 40,000 subscribers.
But he had almost
just looking down there. He's only had
He had
He
over
only has like
100,000
500,
subscribers.
about 500 subscribers right now.
Yeah,
And he deleted all the old videos,
buddy.
all the
He had
good stuff
over
that people
100,000
were rewatching.
subscribers on his old channel. He's just a little bit under 10,000 right now. He's like at 9,900 right now.
He's at 580 something.
No, go look at it. This guy trucks. He's at
Oh,
9,900.
not that. Yeah, not that. I was talking about Coach.
Oh,
Yeah.
Coach ain't even started a new thing, has he?
He deleted all his videos. The last video that he has on his channel is like a whole year. It's like a year old.
Is Truckers Coach even started a new one?
He has 585 subscribers currently, but he hasn't made a video in like 10 months. Yeah, he did like a whole reset and everything after the whole Swift debacle. I think he got, don't quote me on this, but I think he got into it with Todd.
He did. See, I don't even see Truckers Coach even on here anymore, buddy.
His channel name is The Coach and Stewie Show.
Coach and Stewie. Now they I thought they canceled that.
I remember he like changed. He had like 2 channels and he kept changing the names of it and all that stuff and whatnot. So after he got into total mess with everybody, I guess everybody got tired of him because he wasn't producing trucking content. It was more like drama stuff. Just did a whole reset. I mean, I was here for the foolishness, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people were like, hey, can we get back to the trucking content? And he was just all over the place at that point. So, yeah.
Oh, it's been over a year since they did a video. It's interesting.
OTR Vick said, because of Coach Arter made some negative changes to their leases, luckily they kept me on the same contract deal because I was there before he started.
Yeah. So Raymond says, as a businessman, if their numbers aren't sugar coated, I think it's a good deal. I'm worried about their numbers in this market. Yeah, I would be a little worried about their numbers too. I don't think their numbers are all that good. Those numbers are, I mean, honestly, those numbers are better than, I mean, probably twice.
It's better than most, and on top of that, it's flatbed. So flatbed's flatbed's usually faring better than the other trailer types in this market because construction never dies. So
Raymond, Raymond, if you like watching flatbed guys, you need to watch Life of KO. He's with Shelton. It's a company out of Florida. He's been at F2F and he's been at Schneider also. He puts out good content for flatbedders. I don't know if you've ever done flatbed before, but that might be a good show for you to look at. Another one is Stephen Love. Life and I think his channel's Life and Love or something like that. He's another one too that is working at the same company. Him and KO are friends too. So
you know what, OTR Vick,
Country would probably have their channels. What's that?
I'm kind of OTR Vick. I'm kind of curious, like what kind of changes did Arter made that was negative? I would like to know. Only because I'm a little nosy, so I don't know, like what kind of changes they made after Coach had left. So
we got the Bull of the Woods on here. How's it going tonight, Bull of the Woods? See you're on here. We appreciate you coming out and listening. We're back up to 13 people again. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that. You
need some water, brother?
Actually, I got something to drink here, man. It's just this colder weather, when it starts to weather change like this, my voice always kind of gets a little scratchy. And
speaking of colder weather, I was up in New Jersey week before last week. It was like 50 something up there.
Buddy, it's like 61 degrees here in Indiana right now. Thought about just turning the air off here in a little bit and just open the windows for a change.
The cold's coming a little early.
Yeah, it is. It is. Hey, Jermaine, I hope things are going well with you, buddy. If you're able, Jermaine, give me. I know you're a nighttime driver, but I'll be driving at 7 in the morning. Give me a ring if you're still driving. I'm hoping that sounds like you guys are doing okay though with what's been going on with your all's loads. If you're going to be up for a little bit longer, I'll hop in if you want. Country, you're welcome. Come in anytime you want to.
Absolutely, man. Come on up here. Let's have a party.
So Raymond says, I have always hauled heavy equipment. I have been helping a friend with flatbed company, and he seems to have decent numbers, but that's part-time. Gotcha. Absolutely, Jermaine. They raised their truck payments, and the new lease drivers could no longer use their own fuel card. You know what, OTR Vick? I remember seeing that. That was one of the things that Coach did talk about. They weren't allowed to use their fuel card anymore because what happened, and you know just as well as I do, and same thing with Swift, they're making money off those fuel cards.
Damn right. And I feel like if you can't use your own fuel card, are you really an owner operator? You can't use your own fuel card or have your own choice of using your own fuel card for whatever. It's more of you're more of a company driver more than a lease operator, if anything. Yeah.
There you go, Country. I just sent you the link.
Yeah, but all in all, I guess it depends. Some people just make it harder for the rest of us when they go around doing certain things, and then it negatively affects everybody else at the end of it. Doesn't affect them much because they done moved on and went their own ways to do whatever they want, but they leave the scraps for everybody else to pick up.
All right, we're gonna bring Country in. Hang on just a second here. What's up, Country?
What's up?
What's going on? Oh, hold on. Do it again.
What's up?
What's
All right, you millennials.
Listen there, young man. Okay? What's going on, fellas?
I called him a young lady the other day. He just flipped off. He was like, I'll show you a young lady.
I'll show you a young lady. You want to come see this young lady?
It's like, you better fill again there, young lad.
That's right, man. So Raymond says he has hazmat and tanker and a TWIC card.
I need to get my TWIC card. That's the only thing I don't have. I need to go get my TWIC card.
You know, Raymond, I'm curious, and don't take it the wrong way, but what made you choose CRST? They're just not somebody that was ever on my radar, and I don't know too many people that had them on their radar.
You know, it's funny that it's funny that you mentioned that company, because I was talking to somebody over the past couple of days. That name has popped up more here lately on the positive side of things than any other company that I've seen, and I don't know why.
That and Cloud Trucks. I'm starting to see a lot of shit since we started talking about them too.
Isn't Cloud Trucks like all AI based or something like that?
I don't know.
I think I heard from somebody that they were all.
You get to a company like that, you feel like you're in the movie Minority Report or something with all the AI shit.
So where y'all at tonight? Where you at there, James?
I am in North Vernon, Indiana. Okay. Just delivered to a home store, big box store.
Oh yeah, I've been to many
the blue one or the orange stores. One.
The blue one, at home, not the Home Depot, the home store at home. It's called At Home.
Oh, At Home, yeah. I don't ever talk about the shippers or receivers, but that's you can do it if you want to, but not me. Raymond says best deal they are trying to sell. So you're saying that you felt that CRST had the best deal that they were trying to sell. I looked at your deal. It didn't look horrible, honestly. The truck payments was kind of like your payments that you had over at Swift 18 wheels.
But let me ask you though, Raymond, can you use your own fuel card?
Yeah, that's a big thing.
If you want to, can you use your own fuel card?
Well, yeah. Why is that even a question right now? I heard y'all talking about something like that while I was connected. I'm like, are there actually companies out there that require you to use their EFS card?
Yes. I've been to a company like that. called MN89. They would not let me use any other fuel card whatsoever. I had to use their fuel card.
And Raymond just talked about it.
They
too.
would shut the fuel card off on you until you get a low. It's one of those Chicago companies. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying that you can't take your debit card and go get your fuel wherever you want.
I mean, you could do that. I mean, you could
what
do
are you
that,
talking
but then
about?
you're paying full. But more than likely, you're paying full price if you're not using the Mudflap app, and Mudflap ain't really all that good unless if you're in the Northeast, and who's always spending
okay. Well,
time
then
in
maybe
the
I'm confused. And what are we talking about then?
You can get your own fuel card. You know that, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why is that a question?
You have some companies that won't allow you
Some
to
companies
use
will not
your
allow you
own
to
fuel
use their
card.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to. You got to use the one that they want.
Hang on. So you're saying there's companies out there that will not let you take your debit card to go to every time you get fuel. You can't go, like, say you want to take your debit card. You can't do that.
I mean, you can, but then
but if they find out about it, then they can take it away.
But that's not what we're talking about, because okay,
then what are you talking about?
You can use your own debit card. But are you gonna save Are you gonna save on using your own debit card?
There are ways you can. There are ways that you can, but that's why I'm still not understanding what you're saying, because
I guess Mudflap would be one of the options. But
Mudflap, EFS, there's all kind of different ways. But
right.
I'm just curious. You're telling me there's companies out there that will make you only use their EFS card and nothing else.
Yes, we were just talking about Raymond about it.
You can't get fuel any other way.
That's right.
Okay, say for instance, you do have your own fuel card. They say that you can't use that fuel card.
Why
you have to use
are they saying that?
Because they're not making money.
Because they don't want. For two reasons. I believe, in my opinion, for two reasons. They're not making money off of you from the discount, and for two, they don't want to deal with the hassle of doing your IFTA reports.
Well, I will say that if we happen to get fuel outside of using our EFS card, you should know from Schneider that we have to send in our receipts.
Yeah, I've only used Schneider's card once while I was there. So every month when I was done fueling for the month, I would just log into my my ES Advantage account and just give them the whole printout for the whole month, and they'll handle it.
And that's the thing, as I never even thought that would be an issue. I get fuel how I choose to get fuel. What the hell ever. If you're handling my IFTA, here's the receipts. Well, I never realized there would be a company out there saying, no, you can't do that. You have to use our EFS card so they can charge you that usage fee.
There are some companies in the Chicago area.
My God.
That's all I got to say at that point.
Ego. Super freaking ego.
I've leased onto one of those companies before called MN89. That was the same way.
I hate to break it to everybody. We're not just you, me, 18. We're not million subscriber videos. We're not getting 100 million views here, and so 100 million people ain't gonna hear us talking shit about super ego.
Listen, and if we were making that type of views and making that type of money, you know what I'd tell them? Bite me.
Well, you already have an attorney's team anyway. So the things that go against the larger channels because of their reach doesn't affect us, man. We're not even a blip. Okay, I mean, that's why I am the way I am. I don't care.
We're not even
and I'm sorry. I know this is your channel. I'm a guest, but you know how I am. So the only way to stop my filter from not being there is just to talk to me in private. Well, that won't even stop it. At least it won't be out here in the world, right? So, but I didn't. That just blows me away. That a company.
They are definitely companies that do that, man.
And again, it all boils down to money. That's the whole reason.
Well, I mean, and
just like OTR was saying, they do that at Arter as well too. They don't let you use.
And in the simplistic terms, it comes down to money. We know that, but they got to have a wording and a reason. That's kind of like when I want to hear the reason. You know what I mean? Just so I can poke it. Pretty much come to the same result. It's about money, because every time we use the EFS card, Schneider, we get $1 fee. And I also know that our 47-cent discount is nothing compared to what they're actually getting because they're not passing 100% discount to us. So we might be getting 50%. So they're taking the other 47, putting it in their pocket. So they're making that much more money off of us. So,
I mean, that's how a lot of these companies are staying in business. I mean, you got to steal from the
and
poor.
I will say, if you watched my video yesterday, my last video when I was just sitting down, opening everything out, throwing all my thoughts out and ideas and
Yeah,
what
I saw
ifs and
that.
all that crap.
I wanted to talk to you
Now,
about that.
yeah, I've had dozens of shit ton of comments, and I had like 5 people call me today talking to me about it, and I appreciate all the support I've gotten off of that video. But what I was kind of leading up to is there's a lot of things on the good side of Schneider. I haven't mentioned this, and I probably won't, but I just came to my head. There's a lot of good things going on over here at the company. If you look at the logistics of what's going on, is one, Schneider is not laying nobody off. Right? They're not
Right.
they're not laying nobody off. They are they may have put a halt in hiring in some areas, but they're not laying nobody off. They're not firing anybody. They're just not getting rid of people. And I think how they're managing to do that, even though it sucks for us, because a lot of companies are doing what I just said. They're laying people off. They're cutting them off. They're just that's it. We're downsizing. Sorry.
Well, they're forcing you out the door one way or the other. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you look at like the problem we have with empties, you've heard me bitch about searching for empties.
Yep.
The problem we have right now for empties is because there's a lot of trailers that are just clogging up these OCs. And those are not old retired trailers. Those are current active trailers that they have parked to leave, and they deactivated the cost of those trailers because you can't even use them. When you go to hook up to it, it'll say not in the system. You got to find another trailer. So they deactivate them so they can save themselves instead of paying for all those trailers on the lot. They're just sitting there until I guess business picks back up and they'll reactivate them as they need to or as they see fit.
Let me tell you why that is, and I'm going to tell you right now why that is. Because Swift did the exact same thing right around September and October, and you know this too. 18 Wheels. What they do is they reserve trailers for FedEx, UPS, and the United States Postal Service right around this time period.
Yeah, because they leased them out. Yeah, they leased them out.
And I guarantee you that's what Schneider does too. They lease the trailers out just like the other companies do. And Swift ain't the only one.
Huh? That's possible. I mean, if they can do that to make extra money, fine. But
that's exactly what they're doing. They're recouping their money is what they're doing.
Well, but I noticed this last summer when I was still a company driver. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what in the hell are all these damn trailers doing here? There's
right around the end of August, 1st September, they do it every year. All these big mega carriers, they do this, and they lease the trailers out to FedEx, UPS, and all the big
and Amazon as well too.
Well, I'd believe that more in this instance if it hasn't been the same way for the past year. It's not like a certain time, like after the holidays, they release them back out to us. They're still parked. These trailers just don't move. Yeah,
well, I can only speak for Swift on that. So
yeah, I mean that may have some truth to it. I don't know, and I don't even know if what I'm saying is facts. I'm just saying.
Hey, I got a question for you, Country. Did you get access to the freight power board yet?
Not yet. I mean, there's a bunch of people saying they got a letter sent home, but to the house, but I haven't been home to even check my mail, so I don't know if I got a letter or not.
When's that supposed to happen, anyways?
Have you heard from other drivers who have access to it already?
Oh yeah, if you look in the
what are they saying about it?
Don't get your hopes up. It's the same shit, different skin. But when it comes to time frame, I spoke to my my BOA about a month ago now or so, because I was talking to her. I was like, I think I'm going to the percent board and trying it out for a while and just trying to see changes, trying to figure out how I can save my longevity at Schneider, because I'll be honest, I don't know much longer I'm going to hang around. But I was talking to her about it, and she's like, listen, we talked about the app. I was like, this video that was announced in March, where's that? What happened to that March? She went, well, what happened is around mid-July, we had to start from scratch because
sounds like they
what she said is because right now when we book a load off of Accelerate, it comes to us instantly. The new app wasn't doing that. It had to be manually posted. So if you had to put if you had to book a load, someone on the back end had to manually see it and then assign it to you, which took about 15 to 20 minutes. And she was like, heaven forbid you book a load after 5 o'clock or the weekends, you'd be screwed.
Or
So
if
she
you
said,
and
okay,
another guy is trying to book that same load.
Yeah. So
and they
and
might
also
get somebody quicker than you. So
they were like, well, that code couldn't be fixed, so they started from scratch. Now they're back at that same problem. They can't figure out the automatic part of it yet. They say
sounds a lot like when Swift was trying to push out that load board that they keep talking about.
So that was, but I was like, okay, what kind of timeline we're looking at? They said now they're looking at fall, November, December, probably. So that was the answer I got from my BOA. Only time we ever talked about it. So I
what
don't
would
even
be the what would be the straw that breaks the camel back for you to go somewhere else?
I go off my gut on every decision that I make, and I'll tell you, I don't make decisions on a whim. I don't. It took me when I decided to get my CDL. It took me 4 months from the time I decided to get my CDL, going through the process of getting all the legal, the DOT stuff passed, and going through that 4-week training course. It took me 3 months to. I started talking to I started calling companies right away. I talked to about 20 different companies multiple times, a handful of them. It took about 3 months before I even finally decided on Schneider. So I'm going to thoroughly investigate all options and ultimately do what I feel is best for me. But I don't have one instance. It's just going to come down to my gut. If I talk to someone, I look at the things and I believe in it that much, and my gut says, yeah, if I feel confident in the move, that's what it's going to take. I got to feel confident in the move. I don't think I did mention that maybe the part of me may be scared. I don't think I am, but I just haven't been convinced of an opportunity yet that I felt would be the best direction.
I got you.
That's all it is. It's not that I like Schneider as a company, but you can only hope for so long, and like only pays so many bills. So, well, liking something don't pay the bills at all, to be honest. But you know what I mean. Once I see that opportunity or talk to that company, and my gut feels good about it, that's what it'll be.
Got you.
Hey, Rabbit.
So just to clarify, there's no loyalty over there. You don't got no loyalty towards Schneider or anything like that.
I don't have enough loyalty to keep me in a bad situation if it gets worse. Put it that way. I mean, I'm committed to where I'm at while I'm there. Like, I won't intentionally do anything to screw anybody or anything. But loyalty can only carry you so far, right? Because I mean, I'm here, so I'm committed to it, and I'm going to do the best I can to make the numbers work for me. But eventually, it's either going to work or not going to work.
Gotcha.
You know. But we'll see, man. We'll see.
What was you going to ask me? You started to ask me something there.
I was just reading the comments. It says, "Hey, Rabbit, how much? What was that word? There's a damn heart in the way. How much liquid is in that sippy cup?"
Much liquid is in that sippy cup.
Yeah, it's just Sprite Zero. So there's absolutely nothing in it.
I hate that damn heart that these damn YouTube lives now have right there in that right there.
It
in that
blocks
corner.
out the.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna send you a bunch of confetti while I'm here. Then, while I'm playing, touching tippy tap, tip 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 tap. There we go. There's your confetti. Whatever that does for YouTube, I don't know. I just did it for you though.
I don't know. I don't think it shows up on this end anyway. So,
do you see anything on your end as the host, James?
Do I see
if you get hearts or confetti or whatever?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. Yeah. What's it do for you though? What's it do for your channel?
It makes me so happy.
Oh, it makes you happy. Makes you feel good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're trying to add TikTok crap.
I'm looking at this load that just got posted on our board that I was thinking about taking, but I can't. It's Massillon, Ohio, all the way to Miraloma, California for $5,000, dude.
Ooh.
It's
Yeah, I don't go to California,
buddy. It's over $2 a mile, man. It's only 11,000 pounds.
Where at in Cali?
Mira Loma. It's by Los Angeles.
Oh, LA. Oh, well, then you'd go south. You'd stay on flat land the whole time till you got to the Sierras.
No, man.
Yeah, you got to figure out how you're getting out though.
Well, that was going to be my second.
You're gonna get out. You're gonna get out for $1.98. $1.88.
Okay. At least he gets the hell out.
Nah.
What's that? 20.
Now I want to go back to a comment Jermaine made earlier.
Yeah,
he was talking about hearing a lot about MDS, and so have I in the SFI drivers group. I've
heard that too.
I saw that today.
And I've been wondering because it kind of piqued my interest a little bit about them.
Yeah, me too. Someone shared that TikTok video about this guy who posts on TikTok all the time about MDS. I'm like, well, crap. There's another company I never heard of. That trailer would look damn good behind my truck. That's what I said. That's what I said.
And basically, what I heard, it was like 78% they pay for your tolls and all that stuff, and it's mostly direct. And it's mostly direct shippers that they have over there. So I'm like, that sounds like a pretty good deal. But then he says like 4 to 5 gross, and I'm like,
The video I saw was 6 or 7 gross.
I saw 4. Well, in the comments, I saw 4 to 5 because I don't think he was. It was another driver that's there as well. It's like a couple of the drivers that are over at MDS. So
about my spreadsheet though, for my ADHD brain will forget if I don't mention it now. What I'll do is I'll make a copy of it and I will edit part of it to where what you can do, because I know they give you 65%. What I'll do for you is I'll edit the spreadsheet, adding a column to where all you got to do is put in the gross total for that trip, and it will automatically take out their 35 and put your 65 there. So you'll see the truck total versus company total.
Got you.
And back to my sippy cup that Raymond asked about. I don't drink. I don't drink. The only drink that I'll ever drink is like a margarita or something like that when I'm at the house. But other than
he said liquid. That's all he said was liquid. That's all he said was liquid. Nope, he said liquid.
He says liquor.
Okay, that damn heart was in my way. You're right. I read the I read the LIQ, and then my mind autofills. Okay, that's just the way it is.
That liquor. Tell him, James, you're on your 10-hour rest break, man. First 2 hours is free. The next 8.
So D, where you at tonight?
Somewhere in Georgia, South Georgia, on 75.
Where are you at?
Somewhere in Arkansas, 44 miles in. What is this? Prescott, Arkansas.
Somewhere in Arkansas.
Arkansas, yeah. I'm heading up to St. Louis tomorrow.
Where are you at? 18 wheels.
South Georgia.
What part of South Georgia? Just give us
somewhere on the I-75.
Yeah, I stayed in Macon last night and drove all the way up here.
I'm going to Macon in the morning.
Yeah.
Pick up
Raymond, I know you're just kidding, but
Texas.
It'd be more fun if he had some liquor in that sippy cup, though. But I had that 4 days off in Houston. I drank my share of bourbon for sure.
Hey, the first 2 hours on your 10-hour break is free. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Not really, because some of us could drink a lot in 2 hours, and by 8 hours later, it won't be out of your system. So, but
just one beer should be good enough. You got to learn how to pace yourself, man.
No, I'm not saying I get drunk. Listen, okay, I got a high tolerance level to begin with, because I like bourbon, 120, 130 proof, and you get a 5%. You get a 5% beer. Give me 12 of them. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I don't get drunk. I'm too old to get drunk anymore. Screw that shit.
I got drunk one time in my life, just once. That was good enough for me to never get drunk. Again.
I've been drunk many times. Oof.
Man, hangover. The hangover is real, bro. And the stories that your friends tell about you, what you did the night before.
Well,
those are things I don't want to relive, man.
I don't get hungover, but there's some stories out there. I'm sure. You know, just
Fun
wanted to
That
hop in
load
story.
to
for a few.
California, that load to California would have been nice, man. $5,000.
Did you find anything to follow it up?
I never look because I can't pick it up. I have to pick
Are
it up
you
tomorrow.
registered for
There's no way.
California?
Oh.
Huh?
Are you registered for California?
No, but it's an easy phone call that I can make. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
hard to
fit.
do.
What was it? Yeah, that carb cert. What was that? What did I have to pay for that?
Yeah,
$35 for some
I
shit like
almost
that.
did take a load out from Florida to California last week, and then I called just to double check because I know I didn't register for it because I
So
didn't want no reasons to go to California. But then the
my
Lord was
wife is getting
looking.
on here saying that she thinks she knows the trucking business. Getting out of California is horrible. Well, yes and no. She just texted me a minute ago, says you need to look at the people while you're talking on your live, and I'm like, I'm looking. She's like, you're not texting me, so who are you texting? I'm like, I ain't texting anybody. I'm looking for a load
Ooh,
for tomorrow. Yeah,
James, what you got
trying to
going
start
on
getting
over there?
dude.
We gonna have to hit that block button.
No,
What?
I'm looking. I'm looking for a load for my next one. Is all I'm doing. Shoot, just trying to have a good week. We got plans on the 16th, and I'm going to go home, and I want to make sure that I got money going into the house.
Gotta have money to get.
Money, yeah, making sure I got money.
All right.
Yeah, but
Hey, I just want.
the answer.
Yeah, it does. California sucks. But I just
Hmm.
wanted to hop in and say hey for a few minutes because I'm pretty tired. I'm gonna get back in a sleeper and stretch the hell out.
Yeah, I'm
Hey,
getting ready to do the same thing. We ain't got much
Same.
longer. We've been on here an hour and a half.
all right, fellas. Hey,
Have
nice
a good night.
chatting. We'll holler at you guys later. Y'all be safe.
Later,
All right,
country.
man.
All right, guys.
Bye. All right, man. I'm sure you're probably getting tired too, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm about to get ready to kick the bucket, throw something on the TV, and sleep with the lights on.
Yeah, anytime we do a show like this, man, I'm always kind of. It takes me a while to get to sleep. I'll have to turn TV on, watch a little TV or something for a while before I fall asleep.
That's how you do it, man.
Watching this guy back into this spot. I don't know if he's going to make that spot or not, but
I like when the TV's watching me. That's how I fall asleep.
yeah, that's how I do too. Sometimes I just leave the TV on. Just leave the TV on, put it on something. We got football Thursday night. Football's back. I don't know what that guy's planning on doing, but he's going to have a tough time making it in that spot the way he's doing it. Got football Thursday and Friday.
Who's your team?
I'm a
You got to
Buccaneers
pick now
fan.
and hold on to that one till the end.
Buddy, I've been a Buccaneers fan since they started the team, brother. I have always been a Buccaneers fan.
You sure you wasn't a Buck fan when Brady came in and won some championships?
Buddy, you know what? I got to tell you the truth. I was totally against them getting Brady. You can ask my wife. Now, when they got Brady, I was happy that they did because he brought us a Super Bowl. But I didn't honestly do. And this is so funny and ironic how it worked out because you know the quarterback that I wanted when they got Brady? You know who it was?
Who?
Baker Mayfield, who they got now. I always thought that guy had something to prove, even when he was with Cleveland and then he went to Carolina and then to California, L.A. I always thought he was pretty decent in my eyes, and I think people kind of overlooked him. And I think he's done pretty well for the Bucs, honestly. I really do, and I think he's only going to get better. I don't know why this guy is parking the way he is because all he's doing is blocking me in, and I'm going to be tapping on his window here in a little bit. Not only that, he's blocking other trucks too. I tell you what, it's getting worse and worse with these guys. They just park wherever the hell they want to, and they just don't give a. They don't give a crap, man.
I'm guilty of that past 11 o'clock. I'm not gonna lie to you. 11 p.m. I'm finding someplace, and that's just where I'm gonna be at. I don't mind. Just wake me up. I'll move.
Well, sometimes, that's fine and dandy as long as you're cool about it. But sometimes these guys, they get shitty. What would you wake me up for? Because you're fucking blocking me. That's why I woke you up. I don't like cussing or anything, but, you got to have some decency and some common sense of, what's going on. Right. When I was with Swift, I had – all right, so, in Georgia, that TA in Georgia in Commerce. You know where that's at? Right on I-85, like you're going up to Greer.
Yep.
You know, it's very tight in there. They got that burger place, Fuddruckers there.
Fuddruckers, yep.
Yep. So that parking lot is very tight. So I parked in the very back where you're supposed to, did my 10-hour break, and 4 o'clock in the morning, my time was up. And I tried getting out, and I couldn't get out. And the truck, it was a long hood truck, and he was a dick, absolute dick. I don't care if I don't get monetized on this video or not, but he was an absolute dick. Woke him up, said, buddy, you got to move your truck. Because, I mean, literally, dude, there was at least 10 to 15 feet between him and the curb to back up. And I'm like, bud, you got to back up a little bit because I can't get out of this spot. You can turn your truck the other way. I said, well, I wish I could, but that truck's longer than yours, and he's parked all the way to the back. I said, I got to get out of here. Well, you're just going to have to make me get out of here. I said, don't make me call the police because I will, or, get them involved. So
don't make me drag your front hood because I will, and I'm going to keep going because I would have warned you.
And that's exactly what I did. I got it out, but I scraped a little bit on the trailer on his mirror, and he was watching the whole time, watching me do it. He actually called the police, and I told the police, I said, hey, motherfucker wouldn't move. It could have been a lot worse, but all we did was just barely, didn't even transfer any paint off the mirror or anything. He still called the police, made a big deal out of it. We did a police report. Cops were like, hey, no damage. We're not writing a report. And I went about my way, and he went about his way. But he was just a dick. It didn't need to go to that, I never heard nothing out of it, but it didn't need to go that way. Well, guys, I guess we're going to cut it short. Anybody got any questions or anything? Anybody that I told call, man, by all means, give me a call. Jermaine, we'll talk about MDS tomorrow, and OTR Vick, if you want to give me a ring. Raymond, give me a ring. Anybody that I've told, give me a call, man, and we can go over whatever. My wife's still telling me getting out of California is horrible. Sorry I had to leave y'all. I have a rat eating into my pond levee and a guy with the thermo trying to find him. Okay.
I heard those things are pretty delicious, man. So you might want to roast them up.
What's a rat? I don't think I know what that is.
It's one of those big rats. I heard they're delicious on a bed of rice. Don't quote me on it. I don't eat rats, but yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and tap out. It's time for me to go take my break, and we'll see you guys next week. You just keep the shiny side up.
Have a good night, 18, man. Give me a holler tomorrow. Thanks for coming in,
brother. All right.
All right. Bye. All right, guys. I guess we'll call this tonight, man. Anybody have any questions or anything they want to talk about? Feel free to give me a call anytime. Be driving tomorrow after 7. And I think I had somebody who was going to call me tonight. I'm trying to remember who that was. That's right, Jeremiah. Give me a ring after the show here, buddy. I'm getting ready to get off, so give me a call. Good night, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.